Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making pressure cooker Irish potato soup. Alright, I'm starting out in my 6-quart pressure cooker. I have it set on saute and it's hot. I'm going to start by adding a little bit of olive oil. Only about 2 tablespoons. Now I have 1 medium onion and 2 ribs of celery here. I diced up the onions, cut up the celery into relatively small pieces. I'm going to get this into the pressure cooker. And I'm going to allow it to saute just for a few minutes until it starts to soften up. Alright, now that my onions and celery have sauteed for a few minutes and I turned off the pressure cooker, I have roughly about 2.5 to 3 pounds of red skin potatoes I cut up into pieces, bite-sized pieces. They're going in. Now if you use like russet potatoes, I would peel them first, but I like the red skin because it's much easier. You just throw them in, peel and all. Now to that I'm going to add in some garlic. I'm using a pre-diced garlic. If you use fresh, use about 3 cloves. And my jar of garlic's getting down to the tail end here. Soon get a new one. That's about 3 cloves worth. Now I'm using my McCormick's Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, and garlic seasoning. If you don't have this, about a half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of pepper, half teaspoon of garlic powder, and half teaspoon of onion powder. I'm putting about a tablespoon of that in, and I'm going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to give that a quick stir to get the seasonings blended in there. Alright, now I'm going to put my lid on here. Hey guys, if you're interested in this pressure cooker, this is a Crock-Pot Express. I got this on Amazon. I would say it's roughly about $100. I'm going to make sure we're set on seal, which we are. And I'm going to go ahead and set this to pressure cook for 6 minutes. So, I'm going to do pressure high. I'm going to do it for 6 minutes. After the 6 minutes are up, I'm going to do a quick release of the pressure. Alright, while my soup pressure cooks, in a skillet here I have 4 tablespoons of butter I melted down. Now I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons of flour. We're making a roux. This is going to help thicken our soup up. And I'm just going to stir the flour into the butter and allow it to cook for a few minutes until the flour taste is cooked out of it. Alright, now that my roux has cooked for a few minutes and the flour taste is out of it, I'm going to add in some milk. I'm going to put in about 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to put this in slowly and start to incorporate it into the roux. And you want to do this slowly to try to minimize lumps as best you can. And you just want to stir it and break up your lumps as you go. Use the back of my spoon and just smear them out in there. And add a little more milk in. Alright, that's about right. Set my milk over here. Now I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of sour cream, and I have a 1 cup container, so I'm going to put half of that in. And anybody that's been watching me for a while knows I don't like sour cream as a topping on something, but I don't mind it if it's cooked into something. And I'm going to stir that in like we did with the milk, and I'm going to turn my heat down to medium because we don't need this boiling like crazy, scorching our roux and milk mixture. Alright, and lastly I'm going to add in 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. And if I need to, I can add a little more milk to that. That's about 1 cup. That's about 2. I'm going to stir that in so it melts. And I'm going to stir my cheese in so it melts, and then I'm going to set this aside just for now. Right, I turned my soup on saute low, and I'm going to go in with a potato masher, and we're going to mash up some of these potatoes, but not all of them. And I'm using a nylon potato masher so I don't scratch my pot. You could also use an immersion blender, which I have, but I don't feel like getting it out, so I'll just use a potato masher. Okay, that's good. I'm going to take that roux mixture and I'm going to start to stir that in there. And I don't think that I'm going to use all of this roux mixture. I might have to add a little milk if I do. I think I will add some milk in here to stretch our soup. Because all we have is 4 cups of chicken broth in there. And you just want to stir this in until it dissolves in there. I'm going to add some more milk to this, and I might have to add more seasoning because the milk's going to dilute this seasoning. Let me get some milk. I'm going to add in about 2 more cups of milk. And like I says, I'll taste this for seasoning and we'll see where we're at. But you can see that's looking good already. Get all of my roux in there. And if I have to, I'll add a little more milk. We want it like a chowder consistency, but we don't want it real thick. So I'm going to stir that in. You can see it's coming together nicely. And if your pressure cooker doesn't have saute low, it just says saute high. Put it on saute high, and when it comes up to a good boil, shut it off. Now, I have, before I add anything else, I'm going to taste it for seasoning. Grab a spoon here. Yeah, that needs a little more seasoning. So I'm going to take my McCormick seasoning I put in the beginning, and I'm going to add in about a teaspoon. Giving that a stir, get that down in there. Let me give that another taste. Just a little more, about another teaspoon. You can always add, but it's hard to take away, so you don't want to overdo it all at once. We're also going to add some bacon to this, so I'm being conscious of the salt that I'm adding in. For taste. And just a little more. About another teaspoon. You want your food well seasoned. Trying to bring out as much flavor as you can in it. Give that a taste. It's looking good, guys. Yeah, that's tasting good about there. Now I have about 2 tablespoons of fresh diced parsley. That's going in. And I'm going to add that bacon in that I just mentioned. This is a pound of bacon I crisped up in the oven and I diced up. I'm going to put about half of it in. The other half we're going to reserve for serving on top of the bowl. I'm going to allow this to simmer for just a few minutes and it'll be ready to go. We'll go ahead and fix a bowl and see what we got. I added some more cheese and bacon on top there and some dried chives. Let me get in here and try this, guys. I get a little bit of everything in one bite. It's really delicious. Potatoes are creamy and soft. Nice cream soup base to it. You get the spice, the seasoning in there. Buttery flavor from the roux. Then you have that cheese and that bacon. Guys, that's really delicious, and it wasn't hard at all. And I know the weather's warming up and you're thinking, well, why is he making soup when it's so warm out? I could eat soup all year round, guys. Alright, there you have it. Pressure cooker Irish potato soup. Thanks for watching and supporting me. Remember, love what you eat and eat what you love.